Once again, for folks who are just joining us, this was breaking news within the last 20 minutes, you guys would say. Yep. We learned that there are 19 people named in this indictment, 41 charges. And I just want to go through some of the charges for you before we turn to our Zach Merchant, who has been very, very busy digging through this indictment to break it down for you all. Count one, the biggest one that has been heavily speculated for the last couple of weeks, months, violation of the Georgia RICO, Racketeer Influenced and Corruption Organizations Act. So that was one of the biggest charges. We also have multiple conspiracy charges, solicitation of violation of oath by public officer, false statements and writings. I mean, the list goes on, Zach. So you've been reading through it and you've circled some things, some significant points here.
Yeah, I haven't gone far. I am still working on getting through the full indictment here. Here are the points that are sticking out to me right now. The first, Faith, you're talking about the charges. The biggest defendant by far is former President Donald Trump. He is charged with 13 counts of this, let's count them up here, of this 41-page, or I should say 41-count indictment. Of those counts, many of them are solicitation of violation of oath by a public officer, conspiracy to commit different kinds of crimes. But I also want to note here as well that we talked throughout the evening about how RICO charges give a prosecutor more leeway than is typical, and we have noted as well that in order to prove a RICO charge, prosecutors have to show that any named defendant committed an act in furtherance of that RICO conspiracy. This is how far the indictment is reaching right now. Just into about the first 24 pages, District Attorney Fani Willis and her team of prosecutors are citing conversations and interactions between the former president and his allies with elected leaders and officials in Pennsylvania, in Arizona, and in Michigan. So when we talk about the broad breadth of this possible case and evidence that could be drawn in, it reaches beyond the boundaries of our state.
Is that difficult to prove?
I think our legal analyst would be the best place to answer that question, but I also think in an indictment that is this long, there's a lot of redundancy in here. You see defendants named in repeated places in this long list of predicate acts.
So here's my question to you. Sure. As I sit here and I think about the political ramifications of this. Is there an ambiguity in this that Trump's supporters who plan on voting for him, which is a significant amount of people at this point, will see this in the political framework?
I think there's no question that there is a segment of the American public, in the American elected officials as well, that no matter what happens, they're going to see this as the former president has argued, this is another indication that he is the recipient of a political witch hunt. That said, I think folks who get up and will say that this country is hopelessly divided and people can't change their minds clearly don't know a lot about the state of Georgia. We were the pivotal state in the 2020 elections, in the Senate runoff as well.